happened to people are talking.
See the front page of the Chronicle this morning. Patrick Combs works down here at Levi Strauss.
Is a senior at San Francisco State University.
He was on his way to work yesterday morning, and there was a woman in distress. She was about ready to give
She was in
birth.
a stairwell. Yeah.
And he helped her. He said, all I knew about delivering babies is what I had learned on television. And he helped.
He helped deliver that baby on the street with people looking on. But he said it was, the description in the paper was so wonderful. It was so joyous. He was so thrilled. He said, I never felt better in my life. It was joyful.
It was a little girl, and they named her Crystal, and he says, I have fallen in love with this little girl. And he may never see her again, but he said he's never had a greater feeling in his life.
A great story.
So congratulations, Patrick. We were hoping to meet him at the top of the show this morning, but he's, I don't know, caught up at the Fog City Diner or something. We're not quite sure. College. Thank you, Larry and Jerry and Lewis. Nice to see you this morning. We're lucky. We caught up with Patrick Combs, the man who helped deliver the baby yesterday morning, and he's going to be with us right after this. Stay tuned.
Well, we talked about him at the top of the show. He was on the front page of the Chronicle this morning. He delivered a baby on a sidewalk yesterday, and he's with us this morning. Would you give a nice welcome to Patrick Combs? Patrick, I know that this is all overwhelming, but let's start at the beginning. You go out of your house, you're leaving to go to work because you work for the summer at Levi Strauss. All right. So you walk out the door, what happens?
1 block from my home, I was listening to my Walkman. I had my band that I manage on Square Roots, and this girl calling out of a little stairway, halfway on the cement. It looked like that's where she had made it too. Asked me to call an ambulance, and because she was pregnant, and called the ambulance, and I went back out, and I asked her name. I thought she said Bobby, so through the whole ordeal, I screamed, Bobby, Bobby, Bobby. Turns out it was Bonnie. That was odd for me. But they say there wasn't really it wasn't a big concern. And what I...
You know what to do.
First of all, how did you know that she was about to deliver?
Because I asked her, I said, Bobby, is this for real? Are you going to have the baby soon? Or do you think this is just the beginning? And it was just the beginning, but she was going to have the baby soon. And she said, my water's already broke. And I looked at her pants, and her water had already broke. And at that point, that was, to me, that felt like the hardest part was to make the decision. I have to take off her pants. And that was awkward.
Was anybody around to help you, or anybody offer?
Yes, there were. Yeah, there were, at this point, there were probably 3 people that had come out of some of the doors I had knocked on, and there were a couple of people that had stopped passing by, and a couple of people that kept walking passing by. And the reason why I stepped forward to help, besides the values, I feel like I've had to think this a little bit, and people ask me, why does one person out of the 5 step forward and help, and why does the other person? And I know that's just because of my mom. You know, I told my mom, it was my mother's birthday, and I said, you have a granddaughter. I told her.
I love it. How wonderful.
And she asked for an explanation. And so I said, I told her, I forget where I was going, but the reason why I helped mostly is this poor woman was clawing at the cement. And so what I stepped forward to do was to give her a hand to hold on to. That's what it looked like she needed. She was clawing like this. So I told her to hold my hand, and then I started to give her words of encouragement. And that was my intention, to encourage her and tell her, everything's fine. Whether the ambulance gets here or not, we can do a baby. And where do I get the information? Part of it came from, I've seen them, they do it on TV. It can be done, so I was just saying, we can do a baby. You have to communicate. That's my buzzword. I'm a communication major. I work at Levi Strauss in the communication department. I'm also a business major. That should be a plug for, you know, we're not all bad. And so I'm saying communicate to her, and I said, you have to tell me. You'll probably know when you're going to have this baby. Tell me. Don't hold it in. That was my big concern. Don't hold the baby in. That doesn't sound right. And so she told me, I'm going to have the baby. And at that point, that was the next commitment where that made me realize she trusts me enough to tell me I'm going to have it. In a sense, I'm not going to hold it in. And so it was my turn to say, okay, I'll do the things I told you I would. I'll try. And I had to move in position and just wait. She did all the work.
And you saw the top of the head. You saw the top of the head. And
I was just waiting. I didn't know what was going to come out since.
And you know, you're a communications major, not.
Yeah.
You know,
So
right.
what did you feel when that baby's
When the baby's head came out, it was scary because the baby was purple, solid purple. I expected slime. I mean, in the real sense, but the baby was purple, and I was scared. It looks like the baby's being suffocated. I thought that was a problem. I thought I'm doing something, and at that point, do doctors pull to get the baby out? And the minute I touched the baby's head, I knew you do not pull. Which was a relief to me. I just knew, no, that's not appropriate. And I said, push.
Instinct.
You know, so I went back to, it's your job, Bobby. Push, one more push. Come on, one more push. And Bobby pushed again, and all the baby except for little knees came out. And so I had that. It's just still blue and no sign of life whatsoever. And I was scared about that. Well, one more push, and everything. Whole baby girl. At that point, I started screaming, "Oh my God, you have a baby girl, Bobby! You're the best person I've ever met. This is so great. We did this, and
did you have to slap
no
the
signs
little
of life
baby's
yet,
bottom?
though, still. So then all of a sudden, the little baby's eyes open up. She looks to the right. She looks to the left. She closed them really slow again. And I was screaming. I was ecstatic. And then I shook her a little bit. It was right here. I didn't move the baby. I didn't know umbilical cords were long enough to move anywhere. And I shook the baby, and she cried. And that's the best feeling I've ever had. That was incredible. Yeah.
It's so wonderful.
Everyone should do it.
Now, has this made you think maybe you'll change your major from business to medicine?
Sure, I skipped literally every block. I walked all the way to work 3.5 miles. That was the only way to handle that. Every block I'd go, God damn. I'm so happy. And then you think, well, you know, doctor, but with the way I started, I thought it would be hard to find work. I'd walk a lot of streets before I found my service. Back to what
Well, now, are you
So
ever
you're not
going
going to be searching out pregnant women in
No.
stores and everything?
No,
Well, finally, the paramedics did come.
They came just the way you'd expect them. The minute I had the baby out and I got her to cry, looked up, and they were there. And at that point, I felt great. I realized I'm glad that I got to do it.
Now, are you going to be able to... The baby's name is Crystal.
I'm going to go over there. Crystal, I know, I'm so excited to find that out. So yesterday, I go over there today.
You're going to go over and meet them.
Mm-hmm. And I'm going to take her a little pair of Levi's.
Oh! You know, I must tell you, if I were your mother, I would be so proud of you. And if I were a potential girlfriend, I would feel so lucky.
I have a girl.
And
She's
you
happy.
may even have some potential future employers out there in the way of broadcasting and all, because you expressed yourself very well.
Oh,
well, you
boy.
delivered
It's an
baby.
easy story to tell.
You delivered your baby yesterday morning. You're doing television interviews today. What's tomorrow?
Well, I told my brother, I go, Mike, I'm getting my Andy Warhol 15 minutes. So,
Ladies
tomorrow,
and gentlemen, tomorrow could be...
back to work. I work at Levi Strauss and Charles Schwab, and I manage a band that I'm very proud of called
And
the
give the
Square
name
Roots.
of the band again.
The Square Roots.
And where are they playing this
At
weekend?
Kennel Club, July 13th.
All right, good.
right.
Nice hand for Patrick Combs. We'll be back right after this.